5 keys to happiness. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, I want you to watch the entire video. If you like the video, comment, like, subscribe at the end of the video. But first, watch the entire video. Okay, today we're going to be talking about 5 keys to happiness. All right. It seems like we live in a world of depression. In order for you to actually be happy, you're going to have to distract yourself from the rest of the world. Most people are not going to put down their phones. You're programmed to looking at your phone. You're programmed to living out your phone. Your phone is your life. But your phone can also be one of the biggest distractions that's holding you back, which we all know that. But today I'm going to be giving my 5 keys that I think you guys out there need to be utilizing in order to achieve happiness. Stay tuned. First, a lot of people have to understand you're not going to be able to change anything what someone thinks about you. First impressions last, but everybody's first impression is different. The way one person perceives you is totally different than what another person is going to perceive you and look at you as. You need to understand that now. The way your mom looks at you, every other girl don't look at you that way. It's just that you're programmed to treat every girl the same way you treat your mom, but those girls are not going to treat you the same back. So what you want to do is become very comfortable with yourself. There's somebody out there that you identify with. If you can't go online and find somebody that you identify with that have confidence, I don't know what to tell you. But when you walk around in society, one thing that you need to understand, no one is really looking at you like that. So there's no reason for you to live a life based off of what you think people think about you, because you're not going to be able to change it. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. Unless somebody sit down and have a personal conversation with you and get to know you on a one-to-one scale, they're never going to be able to judge you. When people walk around every day, depending on how low they feel of a person will be determined how judgmental they are. The more depression a person is, the more judgmental they're going to be towards everyone else. So understand, you cannot change anyone because everyone's going to treat you based on how they feel inside. Next, this is a very important one. And to me, this is probably the most important one. And that's going to be learn to sit in silence. The reason why you have to learn to sit in silence is due to the fact that you have to learn to put your phone down and learn to sit in the dark to allow your mind to reset. You got to understand your brain is constantly moving 1,000 miles an hour, which is why if you look at your phone before you go to bed, you would not even sleep good. Most people will walk around angry and miserable because they're not sleeping good, because they can't go to sleep without looking at their phone. They can't wake up without looking at their phone. So once you learn to actually sit in darkness, learn to meditate a little bit, close your eyes, block out the world. When you can sit in darkness and allow your imagination to keep you company and not the game of life and the casino in your phone, you'll be good. Now you may say, what's the casino in your phone? Every time you flicker in your phone, it's just like going to a slot machine. Slot machine turns and you're hoping something good happens. You're hoping something makes you happy. So understand this. If you cannot sit alone in silence, then it's going to be hard for you to distract yourself from the world that's driving you angry. Next, you must find a hobby. You must find something that makes you creative. You know, back in the day, a lot of guys used to do puzzles, woodwork, mechanic work, build a car, build a hot rod. Nowadays, guys have video games, but video games are like a distraction on the brain too, because everything's moving real fast and you're dealing with a fake world on top of a fake world. So video games, yeah, but it has to be done in moderate, which means that you shouldn't be spending 6 hours on a video game, because 6 hours on a video game is an hour in real life. That's how it is. When you sit down to play video games, time flies so fast that you don't realize that you've wasted the entire day if you indulge into it. So learn to be moderate about video games and learn to be moderate about the gym. Learn to be moderate about everything that you're doing now that distracts you. Too much of anything, it's not good for you. Next, external success creates unhealthy emotions. What do I mean by that? I mean by everyone out here is trying to live to be looked at as on a higher level. So a lot of people put a lot of self-happiness into materialistic things. You have to understand this. The more materialistic you are and the more materialistic a person is, the more unhealthy their mindset is going to be. And the reason why is because when people buy these materialistic things, they get very upset when they don't get the gratification that they deserve. You take an ugly woman who works hard, face adversity, name call, run out, get a good job, and drives a Mercedes, she's gonna want people to just glorify her. She's gonna want people to just respect her, want people to just indulge into her. But when they don't, she's gonna try to force it on the people. That's how people are with materialistic things. It's like you go out and buy the Bentley, you buy the Ferrari, you buy all this stuff that average people cannot buy. And then when you get out your car, you walk down the street, people don't look at you like that. They act like you didn't even buy it. But when you bought it, you drove down the street hoping that everybody in the world that ever treated you wrong sees you in that car. And when they don't see you in their car, you want to make sure that they know that that's your car. Oh, that because I drive a Bentley or because I drive a Mercedes. What you talking about? I got more money than you. When you see people doing that, they're typically people that are not happy inside. I see more millionaires doing drugs than I see broke people. I see more guys that got money that get used than broke guys. So understand, external things will only create unhappy emotions. Next, you have to stay consistent in your routine. That's hard for people to do. Is when you find a regimen that allows you to be free, be healthy, and you feel like you're living a good life. You're waking up at a certain time. You're going to the gym at a certain time. You're eating good. You're becoming more creative. You're feeling more better about life. And then you don't keep up with that. You start to tire out. You start to say, I'm going to get a break. I'm going to do this. And next thing you know, you start to become lazy all over again and you start back procrastinating. You must be able to stick with your schedule of self-improvement. That's the only way you're going to seek happiness. And the reason why is because your default of happiness is waiting for somebody else to make you happy. That's why people love to congregate around people. That's why people love bars. That's why people love going to the gym. That's why people love going to the club. Everybody that loves going to things that congregate people are typically miserable in real life. Why? Because you're not consistent at being happy with yourself. You need friendship and other people to define you. Next, last but not least, you must understand that everything is not for you. It's not. Everybody that does a video is not for you. All the music in the world is not for you. Most of the movies is not for you. So what does that mean? Don't feel obligated to comment on everything that you don't like. That's misery. That's depression. Every time you on the internet and you come across a video that you don't like, you just have to comment. Every time somebody in the comments say something you don't like, you just have to comment. That's depression, bro. That's depression. I don't care how you word it. I don't care how smart you are. I don't give a fuck who you are online. The moment your happiness and your day-to-day results around what you do online, you're done. You're a nobody. Everything ain't for you, bro. Everything ain't for you. Learn to accept that. Learn to accept everybody ain't gonna think like you. Everybody ain't gonna walk like you. Everybody ain't gonna talk like you. And if you get a girl that come in your life, 9 times out of 10, she probably ain't gonna be nothing like you. Once you guys come to the realization that the world doesn't have a set standard of being happy, that you have to create it for yourself, life opens up. All right, hopefully you was able to get the message behind the bottle, and I helped you to get closer towards your happiness. Take these steps, man. Take these steps. Understand, you cannot change the way people feel about you. You can't be biased to a certain way of thinking. You have to block out the world, distract yourself, learn to be alone, and happiness will come. All right? Hasta la vista.